mean, probably something ridiculous like, oh, no. Ow.
That's why I laughed earlier, because I just imagined whatever noise came out of you was probably like, oh!
Ow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So breathy. All right, welcome to Among the Noise podcast. We are back again. It's been a while, but we are here. David's here. Jacob's here. We're going to talk about some brief gaming news. There's some big stuff to go through, but we're just going to kind of get through it like pretty quickly. I'd say there is a bug that keeps flying around my head. Yeah, so is there anything you guys want to talk about before we jump into some gaming news?
No, I think we got all of our thoughts out before the podcast.
Okay.
Special news for me, I got engaged not long ago. And instead of my fiance now giving me a ring, she gave me an engagement chain, which I thought was nice. So she bought me that not long ago.
That's why you're wearing a low-cut shirt.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, well, I'm also wearing an old ring that I have just over it, just so I can bat all the women away that just flock after me all the time.
I was just listening to someone say on a podcast about how a lot of times women, when they go out, they'll wear a ring just so that guys don't bother them, or so when they do bother them, like, I'm married. And it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I take mine off for the opposite. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Or a lot of them will wear it on a different, like, finger, and then, like, it makes it really hard to, like, determine, like, you really have to be like,
Yeah.
finger is that on? Oh, okay.
Back when I was single, if I saw any ring on the left hand, I was like, no, just forget it.
Yeah.
Not even worth it. I don't want somebody rushing in here and punching me in the face.
Yeah.
That I would do anything worthy of that, but...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, though. Did you finish your thought?
Yeah, I'm engaged now.
Congrats.
Yep, she'll be coming to the thing we're going to go to after later for a friend's birthday party we're going to do after this. But yeah, Andor's over.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Cheer.
on the other podcast, we watched through Andor and did our reviews on every arc, 3-episode arc, and Jacob was there for 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and it feels like it's been forever since we did the last one. It's been a month.
Wow, it's been months. That's crazy.
Yeah, time has flown by, but also, I don't know. It's been weird.
Yeah.
But since the last time you've been on this podcast, since we had our last podcast, I think that was like end of February.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It doesn't
But it
feel
doesn't
like
feel
it's...
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But then again, it does.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's what I
it's
was
really
gonna say.
weird. Yeah.
That's one of the like bingo things that I put in my mind on my card. Anytime we hang out, either you or Daniel or somebody in our group always says, "Doesn't feel like it's been that long. We should do this more often." Those are two separate slots.
Yeah, it's we should do this more often, and then that never happens.
being an adult is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reminded why I don't like leaving the house as soon as I left the house today. All the construction and driving and people are out there. That might be the worst part.
Yeah, the construction is awful right now because it's summer and they're finally like trying to get it all done.
Yeah.
But like they've been doing stuff at least around like this area and like Indy in particular. It's like,
yeah, your area is horrible.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere.
No.
Yeah, Fishers is destroyed.
Yeah. Especially 37 right here. It's like a different thing every day.
When they changed all around where like 75th and Shadeland is interstate wise, like near where you're about to get off on 82nd and like get back on to go down to 460, like that whole section right there, blow it up with a bomb. It's not even worth it anymore.
It seems like that's what they did.
Yeah. I just get off on 82nd Street and then just go to Shade. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. People not from here.
Yeah.
Not going to want to listen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a mess.
I avoid it like the plague, even though I have to drive for my 95% of my job.
I broke my face since the last podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've even told you guys like the more in-depth version of this story. So I'll give that really quick. I was working out, doing my yearly workout. And like I just mentioned, I don't like to leave the house. So I was like, I'm just going to do a little workout at home. You know, I can do like some body weight exercises. I have bands that I can use. And so I was doing a band exercise, and it's an exercise where like it's actually like to help with like my posture and back pain. It was more a physical therapy exercise than anything. It was supposed to relieve pain. And it's like the band is down on the bottom door hinge, and I stand straight up, and I start here, and then I arms all the way up, like make a V. And the band, I had attached it to the door wrong, and it has these big, like, kind of heavy plastic pieces on the end. Just
for like your hands, or like the grab onto?
Well, so the bands are like adjustable, but these specific pieces, I'm trying to think of their purpose. I think it's just to inflict more pain. But the band came off the door.
It worked.
It smacked me right in the face.
Oh my god!
It hit my nose, and my eyebrow. It hit both my eyebrows. One of them, my right one, was bruised. It sliced open, and I still have a big bump on my brow, on my left eyebrow.
Wow.
And it cut my nose open, and I didn't get an x-ray to confirm it, but pretty confident it broke my nose because like the bleeding from inside the nose, outside the nose, my eyebrow is bleeding. It's like this happens. Next thing I know, I'm like on my hands and knees, and I'm like crawling to get off the rug because I'm like, I'm about to bleed a lot.
Yeah.
And I did. I was right. Like blood everywhere, pooling up.
Were you just in your bonus room, or?
I was in the living room.
Oh, okay.
And Natalie, my wife, comes out. And I think she probably initially thought that I was dying.
Were you like screaming or just
no,
like...
well, I think... I'm sure I had like an initial, like... I don't know what I would have even said. Like, it probably just sounded like I was mad.
Did you,
like I can be working on things and be, dang it! Like, you know, like in the other room. So she's probably almost like gotten used to just, oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's just reading an email or something.
Yeah.
Come back to my Nintendo.
Yeah, no, but... Yeah, so I'm sure I made a noise, probably. I mean, probably something ridiculous like, oh, no. Ow.
That's why I laughed earlier, because I just imagined whatever noise came out of you was probably like, oh!
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah.
So breathy. Anime sounds again.
But yeah, and then I'm trying to think, because it's been a minute since this happened. Like
a month ago, right?
Yeah, I just remember I told, like, I kind of had to calm Natalie down a little bit at first. Mm-hmm. Like, my first thought was, get off the rug, don't bleed all over the rug. And my second thought was, like, I need to figure out, like, where I'm hurt and how bad it is. Mm-hmm. And then my third thought, which came when she came in the room, is I need to calm her down.
Yeah.
And then once I was able to calm her down a little bit, just reassure her, like, I'm fine. I just need to figure out what's wrong, because it was kind of a lot in not a lot of time.
Yeah.
I am having a stroke, and your face just goes down like...
I think I maybe even had like a really minor concussion.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
probably whacked the crap out of your brain.
But yeah, then after that, she was awesome. And not that she wasn't awesome from the beginning. I'm glad that she saw
she is
blood
now.
pooling
Yeah,
up.
after that, she
and
turned awesome.
was concerned.
Proved herself.
But yeah, I got it taken care of. They glued everything back together, and here I am.
Ew. So now you got a nice Charlie Puth slit in your eyebrow. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, like, I didn't even really notice whenever you first got here. I didn't even think about it.
so
I didn't think about it either.
when the glue was still on my nose, the blood had kind of pooled up in the, like, under the glue that was keeping the cut sealed. Mm-hmm. And someone said that I looked like a Who from Whoville at work.
You said that. That's so funny.
But that's really the only thing that's happened to me other than just work.
Yeah.
And you FaceTimed everybody after you got smacked in the face.
Yeah, because I have an iPhone now.
Yeah, a new iPhone. And I was like,
oh, yeah, because you broke your phone that same day, right?
Yeah, I dropped it in the toilet that morning. It was an expensive day. I've never done anything like that. I don't think I've ever, that I can remember off the top of my head, even broken one of my phones. And luckily, it was a clean toilet. But yeah, to drop my phone in the toilet and be the way I break it was not awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was after the phone and the medical bills. Couple $1,000 day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pretty cool day for a pretty cool guy.
that was a little over a month ago, yeah, on 5/6 when you called. So
yeah, I'm glad. Like my nose is getting a lot less noticeable, which is cool. I've been putting something on it that Natalie recommended that is supposed to help prevent scarring.
Yeah,
I think a good thing for scars or whatever, it's like the same stuff, the A and D vitamins or whatever you're supposed to put on tattoos or something. It's supposed to like reduce the scar. I don't know.
It's probably something similar to that.
Yeah. The Switch 2.
Yeah, let's talk about the Switch 2.
I have some opinions about it. Apparently, I don't know if you saw this, Brad, but they're doing a additional thing from Nintendo on their Switch that if you cheat or like illegally pirate anything on your Nintendo Switch, they'll shut your account down and it just turns into a brick.
Cheat on your significant other. It is supposed to be illegal.
It's Nintendo, they'll know.
If you cheat in the game.
Yeah, if you, yeah.
I didn't know they had such wonderful moral standards.
Yeah. Like, hey, you should go talk to your wife.
Yeah.
It's a family console.
Comes up with like a thing that locks your console. Go talk to your wife, please.
Yeah. If you don't talk to your wife, I will.
Yeah. And then something pings on her Nintendo, and she's like, hey, how's it going, man?
We need to talk.
Yeah.
Your husband needs to talk.
Your husband's in the closet, physically and mentally. But no, I thought that was really interesting.
That is interesting.
They will just essentially turn your Switch into a brick of electronics and you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, so
if you cheat,
it brought up the like topic of like, do you even own your console? Because they can, they could do it whenever.
That's what it. I immediately thought of, because in my head, first I hear it and I'm like, I think I actually like it, but then I have a massive concern. Because I've been having this kind of problem with the NBA 2K games. I wanted to play like a good offline my career that was just chill. I love 2K online, but so I kind of just needed a game where it's like something I could do single player that's like super chill.
Yeah.
And they shut their servers down like after 2 years, and since like all of their semi-recent games require online to do the single player campaign, so you get like 2 years to do it, and then you can't even use it. So you're paying, $70 for the game. Most people spend another $100 on VC just to have access to it for 2 years.
Yep.
Which I know this is super off topic from the Switch, but that's why that just immediately, because I already kind of had this on my mind. I was like, this kind of sounds problematic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like going back to like if you're cheating, then like that sounds great because then it would eliminate a lot of cheaters. But then what if they like move that goalpost? Like what if like you say something in voice chat that they don't agree with? Like, oh, done.
Yeah.
You say something bad about Nintendo, done.
For sure. I mean,
not that they would do that, but they could.
Sounds like American politics right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, they could they could do that with anything. I mean, yeah, man, that really sucks. Just because going back to, do you really own your games? Like, so, who was it that said that? It was just like, people better get used to not owning your games or something like that. And it's like,
I think it was Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
But at least for those, I think
it was.
You have to sign an agreement. You have to sign like you don't own the game for I think for most games.
It's been a problem for years now,
But you aren't signing that on a Switch, I would assume, unless it's like when you're setting it up, you have to agree.
Well, a lot of it comes back down to like physical games. Like they could do it where they shut down the console and then you can't use your physical games either. Like you
That's
can't
so
use it
dumb.
offline. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you had an old Switch and you had a cartridge in it, you could be able to play offline or whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it goes back to that whole conversation of like, you don't own digital games. Like, it's just a license to like rent it indefinitely until they take it away.
And I feel like they don't take full advantage of the consoles that they do have. They're just worried about the next thing and what the investors want. Like, oh, we need more things so that we can download things. And like, you know, games like Call of Duty, which are like almost 300 gigabytes worth of information, and they're still like, let's do more updates, come on, let's keep going, we got to keep people interested. And it's like, hey man, how about you make your game interesting, and then people will want to play it over to, like Baldur's Gate, for example. Those guys at Ladrian or something like that Studios, like
Larian Studios.
those guys got it down pat. Like, they just keep updating the same game over and over again. And I played that. I probably put like 200, 300 hours into that one game. And it's all Dungeons and Dragons, so it's not super interesting to you guys. But, I mean, just playing it over and over again, there's like hundreds of different outcomes for that one game. And they worked on it for what, like 10 years or something like that crazy?
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah. And like, I just wish that gaming studios, I mean, I get like, some gaming studios need to come out with, thank you,
fidget toys.
Could you tell that I was stressed?
like,
I just like having something to fidget with.
I understand that gaming studios need to come out with more stuff to be able to fund like those cool games, but at the same time, like, it makes it sad because you and I both enjoy Call of Duty a lot, especially when they go back to the old stuff or when they come out with new stuff that's really fun for all of us to play at the same time. And we've been really riding that train really hard. But you and I both kind of got burnt out because we've done all of the things that we want to accomplish, got all the camos,
Not yet, but close.
most of them, just the ones that are, you know, fun to obtain. The other ones just like, okay, I gotta grind the shotgun over and over and over and over and over again, or this pistol or something like that. But like with games like Baldur's Gate, like you can sit it down for like 3 months, pick it back up. There's updates, but it's only to make the game better, not, oh, this is something that you have to buy. Like they have openly expressed like, please download mods to make the game more fun or to make it more like Dungeons and Dragons. Like games like, I can't speak for 2K or whatever, but I feel like more games need to be like that. Like Fallout used to be like that, where they would almost encourage you to download mods.
I think all yearly releases need to be like that, where maybe for you release a game and it's the same game for 5 years with like maybe a DS, like for sports games, maybe you have a DLC every year where it's like roster updates, minor improvements, adding some features here and there, but then that gives you a cycle to make something new that's actually new and actually better. Whereas so many of the yearly release games are just building on the same pile of garbage.
Yeah, progressing
that they
for progressing
made in
sake.
2006.
Yeah.
So confused how we got on this topic.
Talking about like renting.
Yeah,
you don't
not owning
own
your games.
How does that relate to this?
Mind your own business, Brad.
Well,
I'm just
like
confused.
We should get back to the Switch.
because like Baldur's Gate, they're not going to take away anything about that game from people. You don't have to pay, except for the initial fee.
They could.
They could, but it would go
That's
against
the problem.
That would like all the associates and everybody in the upper echelon of that game would have to be dead or fired for that game to flip a switch and turn into a Fortnite game where you're like, new skin.
Yeah, but going back to the original issue, like they could.
They could.
Like if they
which is unfortunate.
And not just Baldur's Gate, like any game that's like that. Like they could just be like, hey, you can't play this anymore. We're going to change it.
Yeah, unless you're online.
Yeah, or like, hey, it's going to be a subscription now.
Yeah, or it's now all multiplayer. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, Like, what happened? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the core issue, I think.
That's the scary thing that I think we're all, because even Call of Duty, like the campaign used to be the most fun part back in the older ones, and then you get on multiplayer and you're like, oh well, this is kind of fun. I get to play with my friends every once in a while. It's not amazing, but like it's fun to just sit around. It would be like going to youth group or something. You just be like, oh, I get to see my friends every once in a week. It's not necessarily for the reason what we're supposed to be there for, but I get to see my friends and like hang out and blah blah blah. And until like, I don't know who popped it off first with all the buying stuff and needs to be online for you to play kind of thing, but I think it got popularized probably with
a lot of that also
Fortnite
comes back down to cheaters as well.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of them have them online at all times because they need to constantly update the code so people can't hack it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say for the Switch, like it doesn't concern me because because they're not going to do something that is going to intentionally harm their customer base. They shouldn't. I mean, obviously, there's
I don't know.
Stupid people out there running big companies, but like
they're one of the like more like anti-consumer gaming companies.
But
what, Nintendo?
Like you can't have cloud saves without subscribing to their online thing.
Yeah, but I think what I'm saying is like
stuff like that.
They're not going to shut down somebody's, or at least not often. Like they're not going to make a habit of shutting down people's ability to use their product without good reason.
Yeah.
At least that they think is good reason.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because then that person, like if you buy an expensive new console and then a week later you're already kicked off of it, you're never buying from Nintendo again.
Yeah.
Like there's still some competition.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a unique to Nintendo thing. Like it's just because they're like in the news about it right now.
Yeah.
I think all of the consoles could be like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah.
And I mean, Nintendo, I feel like we can all, mostly agree. It's generally for people who don't want to play the first person shooters and all those kinds of things, which Nintendo, I mean, honestly, there's half of me that says good for them because most of their games are children's games, like all the Mario games
it's their
and
niche.
all. Yeah, it's their
their
thing.
first party stuff. Yeah,
and like for them to have 10 toes down on this issue, being like no cheating. This is supposed to be lighthearted and fun. But on the other hand, it's just another stepping stone to how the gaming companies can control everything that you're doing. To be like, this is how the game's supposed to be played, and you're going to play it this way, the way that we programmed it to be. And it's like, hey, man.
I don't know why, but I find it really funny thinking about like somebody working really hard to cheat for like a big competitive advantage on a Switch game.
like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
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 I don't mean to talk down on Switch users and lovers because there are competitive games on there.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a lot of serious competitive gamers on the Switch anyways.
No. I mean, there's like Mario speedrunners, I guess.
Oh, there are.
But that's
There's
different.
like,
yeah.
You could see like a lot of the old N64 games, people would try to speed run like GoldenEye 007 or something like
Mario
that.
64.
Mario
is the biggest
64.
one.
Generally are not getting on Switch, and I'll even use like kind of a Switch example, like Fortnite. Like people aren't, like competitive gamers aren't playing Fortnite on the Switch unless they don't have an option.
Right.
Yeah, unless they don't have an option.
Like
Or
they're
like
either on PC or
Unless they were able to cheat on the Switch.
yeah, not on others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
what if it was
that's a good
easier on
point.
the Switch?
Now they can't anymore, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Anything else that about the Switch? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that was a good topic. So Microsoft came out with...
Well, one more thing.
hold on,
I didn't want to move on from the Switch completely yet because I don't know that much about it. My biggest complaint has always been the lack of power, and I think that's something that they kind of switched or they kind of improved on.
They switched it up twice.
Like, isn't that one of the main reasons for
it's
buying
more powerful.
How would it compare to a lot of the like handheld, like computer? What am I looking? What's the word I'm looking for?
Like handheld PCs.
Yeah, like how does it compare to those?
So they say it's comparable to like a PS4 Pro, which is a last generation Pro, which is pretty good. Like
For
it
a
plays,
handheld
you can
console?
play 4K on a TV on like their first party stuff. So like they're like finally up to the par of last generation.
Yeah, but like I could live with that. Like if they started putting a lot of games on there that I really like, if they're like the same game as the other consoles, then I could see myself getting one
I think
eventually.
they're finally getting to the point where like third-party developers are like, hey, we can actually get our games to run pretty well on this now.
Yeah.
Whereas last time it was like, this is like a really crappy phone.
You had to look up if a game would run on it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like, it's funny that you mentioned that, like, games being able to handle, like, they have Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch, too, and, like, I looked up side-by-sides of the graphics and everything, and you look at it, and you're like, this looks like a Zelda game. This is supposed to be, like, a Western, super high-def thing. Yeah, I think they do. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw it at...
I just saw an announcement that they were coming out with it soon.
Pretty sure it's already out. Why they would put it on the Switch 2 when that game's like...
Because it can't run on anything else.
Yeah,
That thing is a hefty game.
Yeah, it's on Nintendo Switch. Rockstar Games, Nintendo Switch.
No, this is the first one.
Huh? Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you said 2.
No. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's the first Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that it ever came to 2. Or to 1, to the Switch 1.
I don't know how it could have.
Yeah, there's no way they could have
Well,
gotten unless they did like the cloud streaming thing.
The game's like, what, 10 years old now? You would think they would be able to do that, but they cannot. It's
May
pretty
end up
old.
grabbing a Switch 2 depending on the games, I think.
2018.
Okay.
Because as someone who does,
7 years old.
although not like I used to for the foreseeable future, but as someone who travels a lot, I would love to have a convenient console on the go that runs good enough. It doesn't have to be great. It's just got to be good enough.
Here's where we can segue into the next topic. So Microsoft has been confirmed to be working on a handheld gaming device of their own for Xbox.
Okay, so then maybe that's what I'm going to end up with.
And they recently delayed it because they're working on making Windows better for handhelds. So it's going to run Windows.
Ooh, and if I can use like my games that I bought for my Xbox on a handheld console, I don't know how that would work.
Some of them are, like if you use the Xbox app.
So it's going to be like a Windows tablet, but with like Switch controllers on the sides?
No.
I bet it'll just be one.
Have you not heard of any of the other like handheld PCs or anything? Have you heard of the Steam Deck?
I don't keep up.
Steam Deck's the one that I'm kind of familiar
I've heard of
Yeah,
Steam
that
Deck
doesn't
for
run
sure.
Windows. It
I don't know why I
runs
couldn't think of it
SteamOS,
earlier.
but yeah, it's like that, but with Windows instead of SteamOS.
But those are like,
like
for the same reason I don't generally game on my PC. Like it's just not as convenient to use those as like a Switch, like a console.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Switch.
Yeah, it is kind of like a Switch. They just don't have like detachable controllers. Like it's all just one device.
On that one, it says the controllers are detachable.
Okay, so I picked the one that does, but the other ones don't. Like the Steam Deck doesn't.
Okay.
That thing's hefty.
Yeah, that looks like a chunker.
Yeah, but that thing could like legit run PC games.
Well, so could the other one. That I showed.
It's
well, I don't know. The other one, was it newer too? So they may have been able to like put similar power in a smaller package. I don't know, but
you can play PC games on that one.
Yeah, it runs PC games. Like it runs Steam.
That would be something for super fun for all of us to have, especially when you guys are on the go and we can all like.
Yeah, so that was going to be my
play.
question. Is like if Microsoft came out with an Xbox One that was like cheaper than some of because some of these are like $900.
Oh.
I much prefer the convenience of a console.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if it's like a handheld.
But like on tour.
So you would rather have a Switch than an Xbox One?
Well, no, assuming that the Xbox is like similar to the new Switch, I would do Xbox.
In terms of like the operating system and everything?
It has the games more that I would be looking for. There's a chance that
Right.
I would be able to play games on that I already bought for
Right.
my normal console.
Because I think
That
it
makes
would
sense.
probably end up running Windows, but like the Xbox app on Windows links up with like Game Pass.
Yeah.
So you can play a
I'm
lot of,
surprised-
not all of them, but a lot of them.
Probably play Warzone and things
So you
like
think
that.
it'll be
Yeah.
more like the handheld PC than the Switch?
It'd be like
Do they even know?
Like
Are we speculating?
they're partnering with I don't remember which one it was. It might have been Asus or Lenovo or whatever, but it would be more like those, but like at a more affordable price because
Yeah.
it's Microsoft.
I will definitely be keeping an eye out for it.
Yeah.
Because I got really close to getting a Steam Deck at one point.
I think this is the one that they're partnering with, the Asus.
I think all of
ROG
us
Ally.
getting a Steam account would be a fantastic idea. Just so we could play thousands of games and play stupid games with each other and start recording games like we used to. And I think that would be fun.
Yeah. I mean,
Finally play Phasmophobia with each other.
I don't like sitting at a computer, at a desk and playing games personally, but there's definitely some exclusives.
If it gives us the
play.
option of playing free games with each other and spending more time with each other, I would definitely think about getting a PC, which is what I've told everybody that is going to be my next console because
I think you're the only one that doesn't have a PC.
Yeah, my laptop it'll run pretty much anything. My new one's really good. I'm actually, for another day and time, I have some things for you, some questions.
Oh boy.
Since you're a smart guy.
Tech support here.
Yeah, I know. But
the only thing that's PC related that I have is that tablet that you gave me 5
that's
years
not
ago.
gonna run anything.
I know.
even Daniel, I think his laptop might be able to run games on low settings, like low graphical settings.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you remember about his.
It's definitely not a gaming PC, but it has a graphics card in it.
Yeah, and it's powerful outside of that. But yeah.
Could run stuff probably.
It's also, my thing is, I have no use for a PC other than just gaming, and I need an extra reason for me to spend, $1,200, $1,500 on a PC
That's
for me
the
to
problem.
be like, okay, this is justified.
I got a phenomenal deal on mine, and it was $1,000.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's pre-built ones, but I don't know.
Well, mine was a laptop, so you could maybe get a PC.
Yeah.
But like the laptop, that's part of why I didn't end up getting a Steam Deck. I was like, well, I can just play games on my laptop.
Yeah.
It's just the Steam Deck is slightly more convenient than the laptop, but then the Switch is a lot more convenient than a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
But
then you're always going to have a laptop to use for other things.
Yeah.
So then you're like, why would I have two devices when I could just have one? Yeah.
Oh, I guess. I think I just convinced myself that I'm probably going to get a gaming laptop.
You can get the one that he has.
If you need a laptop anyways, which it sounds like you don't, you might as well spend the extra few $100.
Well, I was going to say, because I use my tablet for D&D for keeping notes and like things like that. And at this gaming store that we go to meet with each other, they have like this setup for. Usually when you play Dungeons and Dragons, there's like a little map that you can put your figurines on and you can, tell where your person's at and you roll whatever. But they have like this giant TV on a table that you can put like your arena on the screen and put your figurines on there and stuff. But the tablet doesn't have the hookup for a laptop for me to be able to put my landscape on there. So I'm probably just going to do that.
Yeah, instead of getting the adapter for $20, we'll just drop $1,200.
It'd be like $5, but yeah.
Hey, do you want to play games with me or not? I just convinced myself, and now you're unconvincing me.
If you do get, I can't speak as much about PCs, but if you go the laptop route, definitely like do research and then wait for a good deal to come up. Like I randomly got mine at Staples online, and I got it for like $900. Well, it was like 1,000. I think it was 1,000. And it usually like that exact same spec laptop everywhere else was like $1,600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really good deal.
Probably like hit up Disc Replay or something like that and just be like, hey, call me if you get something under 1,000. Or I'll just get a Best Buy credit card.
Do
I
they
don't
get
know.
laptops in?
They get everything.
Well, also,
they
you
get
probably
all
don't.
sorts of junk.
Mine has a little bit more power that you don't need. My graphics card isn't that great, which is probably where you would most likely want to put the money in. But the rest of it is more powerful than what you would need. So maybe you could get something even a little cheaper.
And that also takes me to
the most expensive thing.
Another small segue is like some of the games that are coming out now almost require you to have a 120 hertz TV, which I don't have.
No, they don't require that.
They don't require it, but then you're like lag, frames.
Well, yeah, but you're wanting it to be consistent, not more. Like if you're saying, "Oh, my frames are really bad," that means it's not consistently hitting like a minimum of like 60.
So it's just my internet's bad.
Not if it's frames. That wouldn't affect your internet.
But if it's just lag.
Yeah, if it's lag.
No, it's not necessarily lag. It's just like...
Your problem is you're on a very not powerful console.
Yeah.
The Xbox S is like a last-gen console, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on too. I sometimes regret it because I wish that I could buy older games on a disc that like you can't buy from the store anymore. And I was like, that alone would have maybe been worth...
I still have my old Xbox One, which I could use for all those, but all those games that I used to have, I don't even care to play anymore.
Well, I say it as if I have time to play old games anyways. So.
Yeah. Well, it would just be nice to hop on and be like, oh, like...
The nostalgia, even if it's for 30 minutes, it can be nice.
Yeah, I just want to hop on and see like the first few opening sequence of Metal Gear Solid 2 or like, I don't know, whatever game, but... Which also, I don't understand how Xbox got the rights to be able to have GoldenEye campaign. I don't understand that. You can't do multiplayer. Play the campaign. They just buy the campaign for like half off. They're like, oh, we don't need the multiplayer. I don't know. I'm asking you like you would know.
The rights to James Bond
I know.
makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it comes down to is like whoever owns James Bond is like,
yeah, they
don't care enough, but also they do care.
But it's such a crazy nostalgic game, especially for older millennials, to be like, oh, GoldenEye, I can play big head mode.
The mode I'm playing life at right now. Just big head.
Forehead mode.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm right there with you.
I guess we could segue from that into like some of the new games that were announced this week because we had PlayStation State of Play and Summer Games Fest, and then the Xbox Showcase is happening tomorrow. So we're gonna miss out on some of those announcements, but
don't worry, we'll cover them in 3 months.
Yeah. But yeah, they announced a new James Bond game, which was kind of a big deal because what was even the last James Bond game that ever came out?
Probably like...
Give me a list.
Other games, mobile...
Lego James Bond, what? When did that come out?
Excuse me?
So Lego games, I've heard, can be really, really, really good.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
But also, I feel like doesn't count. Like it's just like a James, like that's a Lego release. It doesn't feel like a James Bond release.
That didn't. Oh, that's a cancel.
No,
that's how many canceled games there are.
The Skyfall game was canceled. I thought that came out. Whoa!
All of these are canceled.
Okay. Ew, Octopussy was supposed to be a game.
I was going to ask about that, and then decided not to.
Yeah, that was the title of one of the movies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm not. As with most things we talk about, I have no James Bond knowledge.
Okay, so the last one was 2012.
Don't remember that at all. Legends? Was it like a conglomeration of all of them?
I played one on the DS. Was there a DS game?
I'm sure.
I mean, the most famous one was GoldenEye. That was on the Nintendo 64.
License to Kill. I think the last one I played was maybe Stealth Affair.
I've only played GoldenEye.
I think it was on PS2. But anyways,
that's a kind of a big deal. Like, it's been over 10 years.
and it's made by the same people who made
Hitman, which
fantastic game.
also they announced Hitman is getting a co-op mode.
Oh,
So that'll be cool.
That will be cool.
I am shocked they didn't have that before.
I think they used to, or no, that was Assassin's Creed. I don't know why I got those mixed up. But, anyway,
Yeah, so we'll have to check that out.
I love the Hitman games. Some of the DLCs are a little wonky, but it's a game that you can play offline. That you could just play by yourself. There's also a freelance mode or whatever that takes the original maps and turns one of the NPCs, random NPC, into the bad guy and they give him a backstory, and they're like, this person's a murderer or whatever, and they're trying to kill one of our whatever. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They just give you a weird backstory, and you have to find different ways, and they give you a list of, you have to kill him this way. You can't change your outfit. You have to kill him within 5 minutes or something like that. Cool. It's so much fun. Like, if you're burnt out on all the other games, it's a good game to run back to, and you're like, oh, it's like a little puzzle every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that game so much. But I did burn myself out a little bit on that game. So I'll probably wait to play it again until that co-op mode comes out next year.
Yeah. Other than that, there really wasn't all that much announced that I didn't already know about. And all that, like, there's a lot of like Japanese games, and they announced the new Resident Evil, which looked pretty cool. We watched that earlier.
It looked insane. And what was that one that I just watched that you sent me?
Yeah, the Hunger game.
Hunger. That looked sick.
But
that was like,
yeah, I don't think that's this year.
Medieval zombie, like, spiritual warfare kind of thing with guns, which looked sick.
Yeah, it was like co-op. It was like survival.
Yeah.
PvP, VE.
But it had like a Resident Evil feel to it.
Yeah, that would be fun to jump in with some of us.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure some of us won't play it, but...
Well, whatever. And then the one thing I wanted to mention was, this happened a few weeks ago, but GTA 6 was supposed to release at the end of this year.
And now it's not.
And now they delayed it to May, like a whole year later.
I saw honestly, memes about it. That's the only way I learned about that.
Yeah,
honestly, following it closely.
I don't care about the GTA games really.
The last GTA game was...
It is a big thing I want to mention.
2014, something like that. I remember it because it was around the time when Xbox, like the original Xbox One, came out.
Yeah. They've been riding that for the whole time.
It's a good game. It is horrendous in like the campaign. There's just some of the stuff that you're like, wow, like real life isn't like this. Like it's just an exaggerated form of like what everybody thinks in their head what LA is like. Which, I mean, some of it probably kind of happens, but at the same time, like, it's good. And now it's going to be, I think they hinted at that it was supposed to be in Miami or something like that, or like quote unquote Miami, which could be horrendous in its own right because Miami is kind of a horrendous place. But
yeah, we'll see. GTA though.
Yeah, GTA in general is usually bad.
It is a massive and cool project, and delaying it that long makes me wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm hoping
are they just like, is it a mess? And they're like, well, if we push it out at least a year, we should be like kind of close to that, right? Or
I'm sure their deadline, they don't care. They probably make so much money off of GTA Online, they don't care.
Well, and it's such a big game, like you can't rush something like that. But at the same time, do they have too big of a goal? Is kind of what I'm hinting at.
Yeah, it could be.
I think that's probably the case.
It's probably going to be one of those games that comes out with the next Xbox or the next PlayStation or something like that, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it comes with it."
Well, and it could be a great game, and people still get disappointed because
Oh, for sure, it's gonna be horrible at launch. It's gonna be horrible, which is unfortunately the status quo for most games now. It's horrible at launch. 6 months later, it works as it's supposed to be at launch. But
GTA 5 is still like in the top 5 games sold like every month on every store.
that's insane.
I've never really
Even
played
to this
any of
day.
them. I think I've maybe like hopped on for like a minute, like at a friend's house or something. But
Yeah, I've never played like the campaign of any of them. I've just got on to like mess around.
I played all of them. I played all of them from, I think, 2 up until now. They're fine. I mean, if you are a bored teenager in the summertime and your friends are off at summer camp and you're just like not there at that summer camp that week, which is, I'm speaking from my truth, is like whenever I couldn't be
Yeah, this sounds oddly personal.
at our camp that we all go to, I couldn't go that week or something like that. I would just sit there and play Grand Theft Auto, and my parents would just hear horrific noises from the kitchen, and I'm like, sorry.
they see 12-year-old Jacob, like his character, hooking up with a prostitute in a video game.
Dude,
What have we done?
I'm gonna let you in on something. I did that all the time because in the game, not that was the old me. But no, I would always try to figure out what was the purpose of putting that in the game, because when you look close up, and I've looked close up on what goes on, because you're supposed to,
all
like,
teenagers did.
because you're supposed to like invite them into your car or whatever, and then they get in, and then you park somewhere private, and then the car shakes, and you zoom in, and both characters are just sitting there like like this, but then your health bar goes up. It just keeps going up and up and up, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's the point of it. And then they get out,
So that's what sex
and then
does.
you run them over, and
Makes
then
you
you get
live
all your money
forever.
back. So yeah,
Heals
your
all of your ailments.
your health bar goes up and your money goes down, and then you run them over and you get your money back. I did that over and over again all the time.
Lessons from GTA.
Yep. It also taught me every curse word under the sun, because they have like a radio, like a GTA radio or something like that, like just unfiltered radio. They taught me every curse word, and I let them loose whenever I would actually arrive at camp all the time. But
Guess what word I learned?
yes, I didn't know what the C word meant, and I didn't know it until 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
What it actually meant, and I screamed it at camp, our church camp, by the way. And people would always be like, "Say the C word again." I'm like, okay. I was very young, but I do want to talk about Arc Raiders.
Yeah, so, okay, I wanted to show this because I texted you the link to it, but I wanted to show David as well, because this looks like a game that I think we would have a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
So, David, you remember DMZ in Call of Duty?
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like you would drop in and you could like do missions, but it was like mostly AI, and like sometimes there would be players there that you would fight against.
Something more recent you'd probably remember is Call of Duty Zombies, when we would play online and have to run around that world.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's kind of like that, where you can keep all your stuff, and if you die, you lose your stuff, and it's also
So just a more in-depth version of that, hopefully.
yeah, much more in depth.
yeah.
And it's third person, and
Because
it's
that's
like
what I think. I think that's what it was really lacking in Call of Duty.
there's multiple maps as well.
So it was, I what I didn't understand, it said it was PvPVE. So does that mean you're fighting
It's like DMZ.
other players and the obstacles that you're going? Okay.
Yeah, like and AI.
Okay.
So VE means environment.
Well, because what's different about that is in DMZ, you didn't fight other players.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, they changed it in the zombies. Where
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't-
You're right. That's where I got mixed up. Yeah.
That's
in
why I
Zombies, you
enjoyed it
didn't-
so much, because you'd be like,
I love the markers, how much they look like the Call of Duty ones. Like when
Yeah.
you mark an enemy.
yeah, it's kind of industry standard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play shooting games hardly ever.
Yeah, but this just like the world looks really cool, and like you like progress the narrative with the missions that you do. So there's like more of a point to do the missions. But then you can like craft things, and just looks really cool and really fun. And it's coming to console, which a lot of these games don't. So that's another big deal. Like a lot of these extraction games are just PC only. So like I've played one of the big games that has been out for a while now is called Escape to Tarkov, or Escape from Tarkov, something like that.
Heard of it,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about
I've
it.
played that a few times. I've been playing it every once in a while with buddies from work.
I've heard about it.
It's
sounds
like
interesting.
super hardcore, like one shot and you die. And like you can't tell if your teammates are on your team or not. Like you have to be like, at the start, you have to be like memorizing what your teammates look like, because there's no indicators at all.
Oh no.
So like most of the time when you die, it's probably from your teammate
Yeah.
because they think that you're a bad guy, which is hilarious, but also really frustrating because
What a nightmares.
when you die completely, like you lose everything that you had. So, but the goal is to like go around, do your missions, and like collect good loot that then you can like extract with, and then you can like go back in the next time with it. I think it's a really fun concept.
It looks
as long as it's like,
It looks more lighthearted than all
not
the
as
other games.
hardcore as Tarkov. Like that's why I don't really like Tarkov that much.
Yeah, it feels like maybe there could even be a happy medium in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I loved DMZ though, because it was
It's
like,
it almost looks like a mix between Fortnite and DMZ.
I was picking up on some of those vibes a tiny bit
Fortnite.
too.
Well, it's
I
just,
think it's more
it has the lightheartedness of Fortnite, but the missions orientedness
I think it looks
of
more
DMZ.
like cyberpunk
That's a good point.
than anything.
Well, the aesthetic, yes, but I meant more like just the lightheartedness. It looks more
I think it looks pretty
more
gritty.
colorful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
less-
his outfit is kind of colorful.
Like even
but
just that
less
scene
like-
right there.
everything else just looks kind of more gritty to me.
Less like
The running and walking animations I feel like are similar, but I don't have a lot of references to choose from when it comes
Yeah, I
to
don't-
games. I see, not first person shooter. That's just like Fortnite.
Yeah, then that makes me disgusted to my
Third
core.
person. Yeah, third person. Well, you can also do third person in Call of Duty now, which is nice. But
And tons of other games.
Oh, I know.
Well,
Most
like,
of
you
them
can-
give you an
you can-
option now.
I was going to
think.
say you can do back and forth if you
Yeah,
wanted
I'm
to.
just saying, like, back to what David said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this looks really fun. And they announced the release is October 30th. It's coming out this year.
And this was like long awaited, right? This like kept getting delayed for some reason or something.
So when they announced this October release date, it was a lot farther out than people expected because they had this like alpha test that this footage is from. And
Oh, is this a PC game only?
no, it's gonna come in console. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I think
Oh.
this will be fun for us to play. They had this test and everyone was like super shocked that it was as like smooth and like bug free as it was. So they
Mhm.
thought they were gonna release it like this month,
Mm-hmm.
and then they said not till October.
I mean,
So
good for,
people were kind of mad about that.
I mean, for sure, but good for them to be like, hey, we don't want to be like all the other gaming studios and release it with like a bug here and a bug there.
Yeah.
They're letting their game testers play the whole game probably.
Yeah, and people think they're gonna have like a beta test between now and then as well.
That's a good
And I
idea.
hope they have that on console because I'll definitely want to check that out. But yeah, it looks really fun. So another game that I wanted to show you guys, which David is probably going to be more interested in.
Ooh, them dirty Shirleys be dirty. Woo.
This is called Jump Ship. And this is like a space co-op survival
Ooh.
kind of game.
That looks sick.
I feel like I've maybe seen ads for this, but not ever actually clicked on one.
It looks kind of like a combination of like Starfield, Elite
Yeah.
Dangerous, Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know more.
Yeah, this looks...
Because I've always thought that they need to make a game that is in the like realm, basically with like the happy medium of Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, and what is it, Starfield? Like something kind of in between.
Yeah.
Where it's not like the huge, ambitious...
And co-op is a big thing.
Yeah.
But not like the huge, ambitious projects that are going to lead to disappointment and probably never
like it doesn't have to be an entire universe worth of things.
But like similar themes and goals and things to work towards. I don't know anything about this game.
I think some of the best games that come out are the games that they don't give you much about the universe. They just kind of let you figure it out and let the fan fiction kind of figure it out. That's kind of what happened with Halo. Like the first game, they were like, combat evolved, and you're like fighting these aliens, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. And then the second one came out, and they're like, here's the story. And then it just unfolded from there. And they made like 6 of them.
Yeah, that's just kind of how video games used to be back then. But
And I mean, that's how they need to get back to that blueprint of video games being like, oh, okay, here's this game, we're not going to invest too much into the story, we're going to make it mostly co-op or whatever, the campaign's going to be like 15 minutes long, but it'll be super fun, you can play it with your friends too if you want to, and like any of the canonization of the story or whatever, just put it on the internet and we'll work with you or something like that to figure something out because like
I like a happy medium.
Even like movies nowadays, what was that movie that came out, like Get Out? You guys remember Get Out from a long time ago? Never heard of Get Out?
Get Out? That sounds very
the movie
generic.
about
about getting out?
No, it's about the guy.
Get out of town.
The guy, and the guy's the main protagonist is a black guy.
He gets out.
He goes to his girlfriend's family's house or whatever out in the country or whatever, and like they find out they're like super racist or whatever, and like they mind swap everybody or something, like they take the brains out of black people and put old white men's brains. You've never seen Get Out?
Familiar.
Are you kidding me?
You should not be surprised at me not saying it. Look at Brad when you say that.
Are you joking me? This was like
you should be surprised if I have seen a movie.
Get Out movie.
Also, I still want to know more about this other game.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about games. I don't know why you're going into this movie.
Well, like...
Never seen anything
You've never heard of... Okay.
It doesn't even look familiar.
2017?
Jordan Peele made it. You know Key and Peele.
Yes, I know who Jordan Peele is.
Yes, he made this movie what was it, like 10 years ago?
I don't know.
But anyways, he made this movie... And like there was just a bunch of key aspects in it that he was just like, oh yeah, I put that in there on purpose. And people are like, oh, actually, because like there's a scene where a guy's fiddling on a ukulele or a guitar or something like that. They're like, he's actually playing an old slave song that they used to play back in. He's like, yeah, I did that. So like I feel like when people give you almost the bare minimum of what they want their game to be like, that's when the creativeness of their audience comes out and it makes the game better for future generations to come.
I want to get back to this game.
That's why
I was going to take us even further off topic.
Well, I wanted you to make it come back to this game. Why are you talking about that with this game?
Because with this game, it looks like they're probably not going to give you super in-depth about, what exactly is going on here with the story besides like, hey, you're on a ship, go to this planet, solve this puzzle in this star destroyer looking thing, and leave with your lives, and you're gonna fight some robots or aliens or whatever.
What do we know about this game? So is this PvP? Is it co-op story mode? Both?
Like they're making a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I love that.
That's awesome.
I think it's PvPvE as well.
That's what I would want it to be.
Yeah. So
you fight everybody and the bots.
I like hearing that.
So you go on missions, and then like there's a chance of like going up against players as well.
I know nothing about this, and I'm already kind of excited.
I know. I never heard into this until I saw this is Jack Fragg's video when he made a video about it. I was like, what?
Like I'm seeing things that like I don't love. Like it feels kind of arcadey. in a lot of ways from what I'm seeing.
For sure, but that also
they're also kind of goofing around.
that also saves
graphics are like fine.
You can have a freaking jetpack in space.
That saves people from like people like Daniel who just want to jump into a game and be like,
I would rather it be more arcadey. I don't want it to be like a sim. I don't like that.
Yeah, and that's fair, and that's part of like the happy medium between some of the games that I really like that are never going to actually be what people want.
Yeah. But you can jump into
something like this.
You can jump into them knowing nothing and be like, okay, the premise is kill the zombies, survive as long as you can.
Yeah.
I am going to look up more about this.
Yeah, this looks
later.
sick.
It's coming to Xbox.
I might even listen to someone explain more about it on the way.
I hope you can like create your own ship and like make your own.
Honestly, this video is a pretty he doesn't explain too much about the details of it, but this is him just playing it with his friends, and Jack Frags is great.
Like what you were saying, I hope there's a lot of customization options in it.
Like we could make a giant cheeseburger ship or something.
Yeah,
I think that would be really funny.
Make your own kind of home base,
because you could do that in Starfield. Like you could just essentially deck out your own ship and like make things however you want to do.
Little things that don't matter but also do matter.
It just makes it fun. Like this is our ship. Like we made this over time.
This video in the in the chat.
Yeah, I might listen to it.
At least so it reminds you of what it was.
What was the other game?
So this section of the podcast is games we're looking forward to that are coming out this year.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to the Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remake that's coming out this summer.
That should be fun.
I probably won't.
I haven't jumped on the redone version of Tony Hawk 2 yet, but
it's good. It is really good.
I kind of want to get my kids into it because that was a pretty influential game for me. Like it also introduced a lot of the music that I listened to, a lot of the punk rock or alternative music that was not hyper pushed from our youth pastor,
but it was also like pretty clean as well.
Yeah, clean and fun and like not like down your
all
throat.
All of those artist songs are clean, but the ones that were in the game were clean.
Right. Like it was usually always fun. Like
Tony Hawk
upbeat games for kids.
They definitely kind of like shaped. It played a very small role in like, how do I want to say this? Because I don't want to say like shaping who like people our age became, because that's not accurate.
It shaped a lot of our styles.
It had like it had an influence on like, I feel like what we still kind of think is cool to this day in a way.
Oh yeah.
Especially for guys. I mean, we obviously can't speak for any of the women that played it. I mean, I don't even know any women that would have played this game. But yeah,
we're losing the feminist listeners.
I'd say it was. Well, I mean, if there was women that played this game, I'm just saying I didn't know them.
We're just saying we don't like you.
I don't talk to women. Okay.
You're not our type. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm married.
I'd say it was, leave me alone. But I'd say it definitely shaped my style and how I also formed friendships, like being in that skater world or whatever. Just, I don't know. It was a good time. It was
I did learn how to skate for a while.
Yeah, it made me want to learn how to skate.
Yeah, I never got real far. I didn't have a work ethic.
But you probably got friends out of it. Like,
yeah,
no,
I mean, that was
I did
a
it by
core
myself.
of how me and Tyler became best friends. Is like skateboarding and like playing those games and learning it and everything. Like,
I remember going
trying
to like
learn
the field trips to the skate parks. Did you ever go to those? It was like once a year.
What? Why wasn't I invited?
It was.
I never had that.
Was it a
or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was only one time. But
like
the Louisville skate park.
No, I never went to that.
I'm pretty sure it was just like an optional school field trip.
What?
In like middle school? Am I thinking?
It might have just been your side. Remember there were different sides?
That'd be a rough one to be on the wrong side of.
Your guys' middle school was like
yours
Hogwarts.
was just a trip to the zoo.
Yeah, I think I remember that happening. Is like the one side went to the skate park and we didn't, or something like that.
It was such a cool.
Because your guys' were like divided up into like 4 sections, like Hogwarts or some bullshit.
I like bought some like cool skate gear, like
weird shit,
new like bearings for my skateboard and stuff.
Yeah, I never went there.
I remember that.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But back on topic, I liked some of the not older, I guess you could say newer. They're all old, though. I liked some of the releases that were released after that were some of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah,
those are the ones that most people didn't like.
Yeah, I'm probably in the minority.
I didn't mind the underground games, but after that, I kind of fell off of them.
The underground ones,
games were fun because you could get off your skateboard and hit people.
Yeah.
But even I think it was like American Wasteland was like one of the last ones. I even enjoyed that.
The skate games
there were ones after that.
Well, that was probably the last ones like that I got into.
Yeah.
I didn't play much of the skate games, but my brother-in-law Brad loved the skate games.
Yeah, I never played the skate games.
I got one of the skate games for my son. He kind of liked it, but he doesn't. I mean, skateboarding's not really super influential anymore, so he's like, I don't really care about this.
I felt like from what I've seen about the skate games, they're more of like if the Tony Hawk games were like NFL Street, then like skate was more like Madden. Like more of like a
skate is more open world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more open world.
Maybe it's the opposite.
I would compare it to a more intense Tony Hawk's Underground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally just a newer version of the Underground.
Like it is kind of like
more
2K
like
to a point where you can have a career and have the thing that you're not just moving.
Yeah,
yes,
cool.
There's more bots. You can go around and then you get to a certain point and then you can upgrade to a different park and like you make more money and you get more skins and you get more boards and more things like that.
Okay.
But what does it say under? I can't read for the life of me where it says under game real or fake.
That's gonna be the game we're gonna play.
So
if we're done, we can move on. But
well, I mean,
the only game I'm looking.
I wanted you guys to talk about your games you're looking forward to.
I only really have one off the top of my mind. It's a new NASCAR game, and I don't have a lot to say about it. It's being made by iRacing, and NASCAR, like most sports games, hasn't had a good release in a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. Like people still go back to like the 2000s EA games for those a lot of the times. And there's been like a couple like that are okay, like the NASCAR Heat games. But I'm excited for this. And it's their first release doing it, but the license is finally in good hands. So the first release should be a very good base for them to build upon. And it'll probably still be more arcade than what I like now that I've played iRacing, which is the simulator. But I'm still excited.
Is it still going to like work with your...
Yeah, it'll still work with the wheel and pedals and everything.
That's cool.
Since you mentioned talking about that there's going to be a new Hitman game or at least a new
co-op mode,
that should be really exciting. I'd like to play that with you because you're one of my only friends that actually plays that.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, if you like puzzle games or like games that you could take your time on and, that's a game that I'd recommend for you. Yeah. The campaign's really good. The online freelance game is really fun because they come out with new maps like every day or new missions every single day and like new ways to do things. Like you can collect different weapons, and if you die with the weapons like in your inventory or whatever, you lose them and you have to do a new map or whatever and like get all that stuff back and buy it, blah 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 blah. It's really fun. I really like it just as a little silly game for me to waste time on. GTA 6, I wouldn't say I'm super hype about it. I don't really care. Just because anytime I play those games, I feel like I need to take a shower.
This was games we're looking forward to, not games that we want to sit here and trash. Come on, Jacob.
True.
No, I'm just playing.
But really.
I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with Avowed.
Games you're looking forward to.
I know.
But you could say that Hunger Game. I think it's next year.
Yeah. I would be excited for that.
Yeah.
I also probably have to be in the right headspace to play that, and I definitely can't play that around my kids.
But if it's like co-op, like if you're playing with friends,
of course.
Being in the mood is different than if you're playing by yourself.
I'm excited for any game that will come out that all of us can play, that all of us can just jump in on and be like, oh yeah, this is fun, or like had a good conversation about or whatever.
There's games out there that are like that. but there haven't been any that I feel like were like perfect for us yet. Where it's like, cause like
it's hard to meet everyone's like.
it is
Because what was that
desires.
one like Honey I Shrunk the Kids game?
Grounded. Yeah, I still want
Grounded.
you guys to try that.
But
we need to do it when Daniel's
I'm
on.
slowly going through the campaign by myself to try to figure it out, and I genuinely by myself think the deputy men will not like it because there's
Really?
a lot of crafting, there's a lot of like time
But
being like, oh, this you have to do this, like literally.
no, but some of
Some
that
of the
I
crafting
like.
tools you have to be like, okay, I got a leaf. Now I have to upgrade with a
long as
rock.
you have
And now I
someone,
have a leaf rock. And
like,
now I have
to
to
help
upgrade
you?
it with a piece of wood. And now I have to make a leaf rock wood and hit things with it. And you're like,
There's actually a lot of that stuff that I enjoy, but like I still have like a weird taste about that. Like there's a lot of that in like the games that I've been into in the past, like say Elite Dangerous, which most people don't know anything about, but like there's times where
big
you're like just to get anywhere, you're sitting there and flying and like it's super chill. And then you're like, well, I need to go do mining to be able to do this next thing that's going to allow me to get this ship that'll let me finally do the mission that I want to do or whatever. So I can be okay with it. And I would actually argue that this was kind of a problem with Elite Dangerous too. But like, it just needs to be like, the tasks need to be fun to me. And I don't like, I haven't given Grounded much of a chance, but what I was kind of getting at though, is like, I do think like there's one day there's just going to be like the perfect game that kind of like scratches all of our itches. Maybe it'll be the jump ship.
Yeah.
For all we know.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe it's not any of our like absolute top favorite games because it kind of reaches all of our interests some. But I want something where you can get on and we build things over time, and
That's what
like,
I love about Grounded.
Yeah.
I
I
think
like
we need to jump into that.
I want a
soon.
game where I can turn my brain off and listen to like all of our conversations, because we tried to have an in-depth conversation about something when
focus.
we
Couldn't
played Fall
focus.
Guys, and we were both like, oh, we're dead. Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
either focusing on the game and not paying attention to like this like in-depth conversation, or I was in the conversation and I was like, oh, we died 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm watching somebody else play. I'm not actually playing.
Yeah.
I want a game where I can turn my brain off and just go with emotions, which
Yeah.
I feel like used to be zombies, but now it's just upgraded so much that we can't do that anymore.
Or it's a lot of the like big open world MMO kind of games where like, yeah, there's times where it's super chill. You're crafting things and like wandering and exploring. Like then there's also times where it's like, oh, now it's time to fight people. And
Yeah.
That's
here's
what-
the like PvP part of it.
That's why you guys.
Like
you
we
guys
spent an
would really
hour
like Grounded.
preparing for this, and now it's time.
Yeah. I like the campaign of Grounded. It's just
I was hoping you
know.
were gonna wait to play it until we all played it together.
Like I feel like
No,
Sea of
I wanted
Thieves
to-
is another that was kind of close to that like general theme.
That's
Yeah.
PvPvE though.
I wanted to
but
do
that's
that
cool.
too.
I'm fine
yeah.
with that.
Because I feel like we would have so much fun talking in pirate accents and just being
Yeah.
stupid and like
Sea of
having a few
Thieves is
drinks.
one we never gave a chance that we
I
probably
played it a few
should.
times.
We still can give it a chance.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it's on Game Pass, right?
Maybe we
Yeah, it's just a matter of like getting on not super late so we can like
Yeah.
give it a chance
But
and like get
that's
used
also
to
the
it.
hard thing is
part of my thing too is I feel like before I give, because some games feel like I'm obviously we can just try it and not like it, but it's like a big game where I feel like Sea of Thieves, from what I know, which isn't a lot, it feels like a game where you need to put some time in before you make
do.
up your mind about it.
yeah.
It's like I need to like look into it before we even try it and be able to like kind of get into it and like get behind the idea of the game
Yeah.
before I'm even willing to give it a chance.
That's what I
Yeah.
tried to do with Grounded, because I don't like being the person that knows nothing about it and is like,
that game.
I hate to say, but like sometimes when Daniel gets on and plays zombies, he's like,
Well-
I'm going to be the guy that dies and gets the money so that I can buy stuff for you.
But, like,
and it's like,
also-
I don't want to do that.
But with zombies, like lately I've kind of been that guy where it's like I don't know all the Easter eggs and the story stuff, and I kind of let you guys do it. And while there's a part of me that's like, oh, I kind of wish I knew more about it. Like, I don't care. Like, I just want to get as far as we can. And if you guys are doing that to help, then fine. But for these games, they're a little different.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure it out together in your brains.
It's kind of like what would be my favorite thing about Star Citizen if it ever comes out. But I don't think it's...
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother... But, like, that would be a perfect game for us because it's got, like, the first-person shooter, like, flying, building up, like, your own base and your, like, arsenal of different things that you can pick for different missions. And, you know, people can attack your base. But...
I wish there was a game like that where, like, it was a mix of Starfield, but also... to bring it back, but like tower defense almost.
There has to be like military games like that.
You go on missions, but then you're like, oh, your base is under attack. You got to get off of this mission right now and go back and defend your base. Otherwise, everybody there is going to die, and you're not going to be able to mine anything. You're not going to get any resources.
You were able to like build up your base enough where like it has its own defense mechanisms to help you, and until you can get there. And even when you're there, you have AI and security systems helping you.
Yeah,
and then you can come in and save the day.
Kind of like that.
But I also. I wish we all had the ability to play this, but Helldivers 2, I feel like that would have been a fun game for us to play at the time when it was big. Now, apparently, people are review bombing it because it's either too hard or nobody's playing it anymore. But
they just need to bring it to Xbox.
Yeah, who knows the worst reason for it? But
I will look into Jump Ship because just without really knowing anything about it, it looks like there's a chance.
When is it? Is it coming out this year or next year?
This year, I think.
This year. Okay. Yeah.
So then I'll add that to one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Even though I just learned about it and don't really know anything about it.
On our wish list.
There's a chance it won't be anything like what I was just talking about. But
I think it looks fun. We're going to play a game. Woo! This game is called Real or Fake.
All right.
I'm going to have a list of video game titles.
I'm going to lose.
That are either real or fake.
We decided that already.
But there's some really weird titles out there that are real.
I believe it.
You have whiteboards next to you. It should be there. And then there's a marker, and I want you to write real on one side and fake on the other. Make it big and bold.
Okay.
Brash.
Loser dies. Their hair pink.
Yeah, I can keep score if we want to decide.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. So are we going to just flip the sign? I am running on like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, so write real on one side and fake on the other in big, bold letters.
So that people can really see how bad my handwriting is?
Yes.
You get some alcohol in you. That'll zoom you to the moon right where I am right now. That freaking Dirty Shirley just drank one high noon, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can keep doing this." And then I drank Dirty Shirley, and I was like,
Dirty Shirley.
I didn't really even know that you were like drinking. We're driving soon, Jacob.
I'll eat some more. I'll be fine.
All right. Let me see your. I need to like spell check you guys, considering past experiences.
Shut up.
No, it wasn't even you.
Oh.
I think last time David spelled something wrong.
No,
it's kind of almost funny, though.
I spelled coffee wrong.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I forget what you spelled.
COFEE.
Well, because I think we went into the fact that, like, I am very reliant on just being able to get words close enough for
autocorrect.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I'll be your autocorrect.
I think a lot of people are that way.
All right, are you ready? I'm going to give you the first one that might be easy.
Okay.
But it might not. But it'll be good for
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Fake.
I am bread.
We need to do like a 3.
Yeah, I'll do a 3, 2, 1.
I was gonna say I know that's a real game.
Yeah, it's real. So that was an easy one to start with.
It felt dumb enough.
Yeah. I've played it. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's a silly game. It's like that Goose Game.
Yeah. Okay. Bathroom Simulator 2020. 3, 2, 1. Dang, that's right. It's fake.
Woo!
We're nerds.
We know you, baby.
That wasn't on the Xbox store.
I'm in your head.
All right. Kill it with fire. 3, 2, 1. That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not even like look at you when I do this, but I can't even focus for long enough to remember to wait for you to count down.
All right. Mr. Mosquito. 3, 2, 1.
Hold it. Oh, we're different.
It is real.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation 2.
I didn't think that I was going to be
that.
right. I was just hoping I would be right.
I remember that. That was like a Spyro game. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Pet the Cat Reloaded. 3, 2, 1. It is fake.
I appreciate. Did you make the fake ones up?
I'm down
No,
too.
ChatGPT doing it.
Okay.
Cooking with guns. 3, 2, 1. Correct.
Yeah. 3.
Don't shit your pants. 3, 2, 1. Correct.
Oh.
Wow.
What is that for? Is that for Xbox or something? If that's for Xbox, I'm going to play it.
This might be kind of a cheat, but it was a text-based Flash game from 2009, which is like a browser game.
Oh.
So that's kind of like a
Don't
cheap
shit your
thing.
pants? Oh,
It's going to be like our new game that we were talking about earlier that we're all going to get into.
It's like, don't shit your pants. Okay.
Okay, we need to keep crafting better pants, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And just type, okay, enter. Okay, got it. Oh, no. Enter.
I saw this like random video. I don't know who it was. Like he popped up in like my shorts feed or something, but he like plays random games that I've never seen. And the idea of the game was he ran a store, and I think the only thing he had to do was make sure that the customer that walked in didn't poop on the floor. And like
That's awesome.
I think the store didn't have bathrooms or something, so yeah, maybe
That's
I'll find
hilarious.
it after we're done.
Is that like Downtown Simulator
Like it
or
just
something?
was so stupid. Like I don't even know if it was a real game.
It probably was. There's so
Yeah.
many stupid ones. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Totally accurate battle simulator.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Correct.
Awesome.
I was real close to doing fake.
I was too, because I was like, how would that
Like that
look?
sounds just dumb enough.
How would that look
Yeah.
aesthetically on a screen?
Which is what they should be asking when
Yeah.
they create the name of the game.
All right. Cybernetic goose wedding. 3, 2, 1.
Absolutely not. That's so ChatGPT. I've done a lot of text-based ChatGPT stuff, and they're like, "Oh, never mind. Go ahead."
All right. Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom.
Son of a gun.
Salad Kingdom.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Gosh dang it, guys.
Have I gotten one wrong yet? I don't think I have.
because you could make it. I'm thinking of the point of like you could make a universe out of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking
It's
too.
original Nintendo. The NES.
Wow.
I was literally like, my thought was like, it makes sense even though it's stupid.
Because
Which
Man,
some of
that
them
could
don't
be-
make sense. Like Goat Simulator, like
Yeah.
get me started
There's some
on
that are
that.
just so
Yeah.
stupid.
I have both of them, and my kids play both of them, and it's annoying. Anyway, sorry, boys.
it's like you have to simulate being
Sorry,
a
guys.
goat. There's no way.
All right.
There's a lot into it.
Wife Quest. 3,
Okay.
2, 1. It is real.
I was real close to doing real.
Catching up. Let's do it. Down by one.
It feels gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
Hey,
it's
I
Are
a
mean,
you a stalker?
platformer where a jealous wife rescues her kidnapped husband.
Wife Quest.
Wife
okay.
Quest.
Okay, so that's a
It's more
different-
wholesome than you
That's
think.
a different angle.
It's more
than-
feministic than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I had a male lead character. In mind,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and he wasn't handsome.
What was he
Yeah.
going to be questing for?
You had,
He
to,
was
you, had
also
to, you had to upgrade his
a
appearance.
pervert.
Yeah. He looked exactly like me at the beginning? What? That's not fair.
All right. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. 3,
Okay.
2, 1. That is real.
I've got 2 wrong now, I think.
Oh. I'm down by 1 though. Yeah.
We'll try to find that on the Xbox store.
Yep. Turnip Boy and the what?
I had heard that. Commits tax evasion.
Hey, if it helps me do my taxes better, that's fine with me. I'll play a game that does that. I mean, never mind.
I mean, what? Wait.
Wait.
Okay. Fart Night with a K.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
There's just no way.
It's fake.
Ah, down by 2 again. Fart Night. That sounds
I was like,
sounds like a Steam
it's just
game though.
stealing it from Fortnite.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
it's with a K. It's like a night.
Yeah, I couldn't buy it.
That sounds exactly like a Steam game. Would just be like, oh,
If it wasn't for Fortnite, I think I would have guessed
Fortnite.
real. Oddly
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
Ninja Golf.
Okay.
3, 2,
Tough one.
1. Correct.
That one was tough.
Okay. Let's go.
That one
Yeah.
doesn't make
It's like
any
generic
sense.
enough.
It was real tough for me to picture that game in my head.
Wonder if instead of a golf club, you have to like hit it a certain way for it to go a certain. Anyway, I'm thinking too much.
Garbage Truck Simulator.
I'm not even waiting on the
3,
countdown.
2, 1.
Yeah, I know that's real.
Put simulator in it. I'm guessing real.
They have a game called Hand Simulator, so I think Garbage Simulator
Yeah.
works.
I
Farm
don't
Simulator.
ever want to play that.
No, Hand Simulator is trying to have hands, and you're trying to like pick up stuff, and you have to use the keys to like move hand forward, move hand down, grab, and throw.
Yeah.
But you can't use your mouse. You have to use keys.
So
It's so much
stupid.
fun.
Okay. This next one was obviously fake, so I'm not going to say it. Next one, Goat Napped.
Okay.
3,
Can you?
2,
Can we get
1.
a spelling,
No.
please?
No.
Goat Napped, like kidnapped, but goat napped.
I'm talking
Correct.
about. Let's go, baby.
I'm trying to not look at yours. If you lift yours up ahead of mine.
That's why I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not closing my eyes, but I'm also, like I said, I'm real tired.
'Cause
So
if I
kinda
look
just
at
am
you-
staring at nothing.
If I look at you, I'm the type of person that'll go just real subtly, like, don't.
Don't do it. All right. Who's your daddy?
Spelled H,
God.
like Indiana Hoosier?
No. Who's
Okay.
your daddy? Like a question.
Oh, this is probably a shitty
3,
mobile game.
2, 1. How? How did you guess that?
We're so good at
I've
this.
played so many like gotcha mobile games that you see the ads and you're like, this is a game?
I will
What are
say
you
I'm
talking about.
I'm surprised at how many I'm getting right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, I'm like,
I can see some perverted like little dork was like, oh, I made this in college, and it's like, yeah, I bet you did.
The premise is a weird multiplayer game where one player is a baby trying to off themselves.
perfect.
Oh,
That's our next game.
Brad's too stupid to kill himself.
you can't do it.
You picked up, baby. Just kill yourself already.
It won't let me go down the stairs.
My hands are too small to tie the rope.
What's the jump button? I'm on top of this building.
So stupid. All right.
I don't know how to fill up the bathtub with water.
Who has the toaster in their inventory? Next one.
Okay. The Adventures of Rad Gravity.
Oh, that sounds kind of sick.
3, 2, 1.
I'm going against my better judgment.
Yeah.
It's real.
Wow!
Okay. See, it felt kind of real, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's just so
It felt-
stupid.
It sounds kind of sick.
Yeah.
It sounds like a...
I thought you were going to guess real, to be honest.
I was going to, but I was just like, that sounds kind of like a Ratchet and Clank game. I don't want to do that. Or Jackson Daxter or whatever.
It was another NES game.
I think the reason I guessed fake was because, like, the premise sounds kind of cool. Why would it have such a dumb name?
Rad Gravity is a sick name, though.
It is.
Uh-huh.
I like that a lot. Well, yeah, sure.
Rad Toilet Time, too.
Rad Gravity.
Because the first one wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
All right. Last one, or do you want more after this?
Let's do 2 more.
That's what I was going to say.
All right, I'll have to generate more. All right. Burrito Bison. Launch Libre.
Wait. Hang on.
I hope his face was on camera.
3, 2, 1. It's real.
I was going to say real. Damn it.
Burrito Bison.
I couldn't render it in my head. I was like, okay, how would that look aesthetically? Like, okay, no. That can't be. It's
It's
too
funny.
big.
We have a lot of the same thought processes. I'm trying to decide if something's real or
We have
not.
an artist's mind that we're like, okay, okay, yeah, this would, no.
Trying to just envision it,
Yeah.
picture it in our heads.
Exactly.
Think of, like, all of the, like, suit and tie guys sitting in a meeting being like, so we need to think of a catchy name that people will remember that explains the game.
Fortnite! No, Jam. No. Oh.
All right. Cheeseburger Apocalypse.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. That is fake.
Son of a gun. Are we tied?
Down by 1.
If we're, yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
still
say,
down by
okay,
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
If we're tied, we got to keep going. Wait, are we doing more?
Let me get my lick back.
more?
Come on. One more. Let's see if we can tie it up.
You said 2 more.
I thought we did 2.
We did
No,
do
I just
2
did
more.
1. I just generated these, and I did the first one.
I thought you did
2
one
extra
and then you had
upon-
to generate one.
Oh, I thought you did 2 more after.
That's fine.
Well, yeah, let's
I'll
do
give
one
you
more.
a chance to tie
Let's
it
do
up.
one
And
more.
if you
Let's
tie
tie
it
it
up, we'll do another one.
Yeah.
Pigeon Dating Simulator.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I'm not getting away from my strategy.
It is real.
If it's a simulator, I'm saying it's real.
Yep, it's real. All right, David wins.
Jacob must die.
Yeah.
His hair pink.
Yeah, what
Wait
hair?
a second.
Yeah.
One on my face?
Yes.
About it.
All right, well, that's the game. That's the podcast. We will see you next time.
Oh! Oh! Ow! Ow! Oh!